They say the battlefield of Uhud was filled with dust, steel, and screams. But there is one part of this story the world doesn't talk about. A moment so mysterious, so powerful, that even the fiercest warriors froze in disbelief. It happened when a young companion looked up during the chaos and saw a figure the size of a mountain cutting through the enemy ranks with a single strike. Not a human, not a soldier, but something from a realm beyond sight. And this is the part of the Battle of Uhud they never tell. The morning of Uhud began with hope. The Muslim army, though fewer in number, stood with unshakable faith. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ positioned them strategically at the foot of Mount Uhud, forming a shield against the Quraysh army. Victory seemed close. Spirits were high. The archers were placed on the hill with one clear command: do not leave your position no matter what happens. The battle started with thunderous intensity. Swords clashed, horses roared, and dust spiraled under the desert sun. Despite being outnumbered, the Muslims pushed forward with tremendous strength. Waves of the enemy fell back. It looked like victory was within reach. But in the midst of triumph came the mistake that changed everything. Some of the archers, thinking the battle was already won, abandoned their positions to collect the spoils. Khalid ibn al-Walid, a master tactician still fighting on the side of Quraysh at the time, saw the opening instantly. With lightning precision, he led his cavalry around the mountain, attacking the Muslims from behind. Panic spread, confusion erupted. The battlefield that once echoed with victory now shook with fear. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was left vulnerable. The enemy closed in, stones flew, arrows slashed the air. Blood soaked the sand where the Prophet stood. Many companions were injured trying to shield him. Others were martyred on the spot. But yet, something extraordinary happened. In the middle of all this chaos, a group of companions saw a flash of light descend from the sky, swift, brilliant, and overwhelming. It wasn't lightning. It wasn't a mirage caused by heat. It was something alive. One companion later described it like this: I saw a rider dressed in white. His horse was unlike any horse of this world. Wherever he turned, the enemy fell. Another companion said, his face was covered in light. The enemy's swords passed through him as if hitting air. Some said he fought with a sword of fire. Others said his wings stretched as wide as the battlefield. But every account agreed on one thing. This was no ordinary being. This was an angel. In the midst of collapse, when defeat seemed certain, this angelic warrior struck fear into the hearts of the Quraysh. He stood where the Muslims were weakest. He defended where no human could stand. His strikes were not seen, only felt. Men who had never feared death suddenly dropped their weapons and fled without understanding why. And then, as quickly as he came, he vanished. Later, when the battle ended and the wounded were cared for, companions gathered around the Prophet ﷺ and asked, Ya Rasulullah, who was the rider in white who fought beside us? The Prophet ﷺ replied that angels were sent during Uhud, just as they were sent in Badr. These were unseen soldiers, guardians who fought when the believers were overwhelmed. But one particular angel was mentioned again and again, the one who fought like an entire army by himself. Some companions said it was the angel who appeared at Badr, Dihya al-Kalbi in angelic form, or even Jibreel alayhi salam himself. Others believed it was a special angel sent only for Uhud. But the exact identity remains hidden, just like the battlefield moment when everything changed. Why? Because Uhud wasn't a battle Muslims won or lost. It was a lesson, a reminder that divine help comes, but never when arrogance enters the heart. The archer's mistake created the opening, the enemy attack created the fear, but the arrival of the angel proved one thing: victory and defeat are not in human hands, they belong to Allah alone. Even in the darkest moment of Uhud, when everything seemed lost, Allah sent His support, not to erase the consequences of mistakes, but to protect His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam and show the world, the unseen world is always closer than we think. Today, as we stand on the barren rocks of Mount Uhud, the wind still whispers the memory of that day. The graves of the martyrs lie in silence. The mountain stands tall, just as it stood then. But somewhere in the dust of history lies the story of an angel warrior who appeared when all hope was fading. A warrior who fought with a power no human eye could fully comprehend. A warrior whose identity remains a secret, and a moment in history the world still doesn't fully understand. Because sometimes the greatest battles are fought by soldiers we never see.